So that all didn't get recorded, so I'm gonna say it again right now. The size of the material, it's the C whatever channel, and it's the size, so 1 inch, or that C2 channel, 6 inches on the 8 dimension, 12 pounds per foot. This is the measurement, 6 by 2 and a little under a half by 0.31. So in that case, that would be 6 by a little under 2 by the 0.31 on the C. And then the angles here for the inside of the channels don't really matter. And then what that fillet is doesn't really matter. Just make it look good, okay? We want to try and make it look close. How could we verify that it's exactly the right shape? I haven't shown you guys this yet. We're in Fusion. Get it started up. So when we're in Fusion, we can tell it a material. And so by default, it's already using steel as a material. But we can just do a 1 foot section and see what it weighs, right? And if it matches up, then we know that our profile's right. If it doesn't match, we can just adjust the profile until we get it looking right. Start it up. Come back here. The channel we have is 3 inches by 1.5 inches. I just went out and measured it. So what kind of channel is that going to start with? Yeah, it's going to be a C2, 3, something, right? And they're just go down that list and find one that's 3 by 1.5, or size, I think. So if you look down, C1s only go to 2 inches, and after 2 inches it jumps to C2, and those go, and then that's all they have here. If we go to Online Metals, let's see if they've got different sizes there. Steel. Have channel. If we go to shape, I don't even have just carbon steel. These are this, and so you can see they're a little bit different shape. They don't sell just regular steel channel here. That's good to know. So we know that we wouldn't go here to get that. So these sizes are it's a structural steel type of shape. So they have like I-beams and stuff like that are also in this classification. So what other information do we need to know to here? I've told you we need to find the call out from there. We need to go and find the trailer coupler. So I shouldn't get a picture of it, but the thing on the front that connects to the hitch. So look at my sample drawings. Trailer coupler there. This part in the front.
Oh, that's the frame right there.
So this is a different trailer.
Oh.
So don't follow this one.
What we're supposed to do.
But this, I'm agree with you. So you need to find this coupler, and that'll help you determine what angle this is. So I'm not telling you what angle it needs to be, because you might find the same one or you might find a different one. And you guys can work together on this, okay? But kind of finding the coupler is gonna, you want these arms to go out at the same angle as it. Those are gonna go back. You can see it's gonna come back until it hits here, and wherever that hits, so we probably want it to be about how far do you think? If this is 3 inches, how far do you think that is? But we're gonna kind of estimate a lot of stuff on this, because what's the main benefits of CAD? we can change it, right? So as long as we draw it where we know that if we change it, it's going to behave correctly, we can just get rough numbers in now, and then we can fine tune it to make it perfect, right? So if you have to design something off of a drawing, just worry about getting it in, making it as good as you can, because the spacing of this, guess what? We can change that easily, right? We just slide a dimension. So I don't know. What do you guys say? How far do you think that is? So this is 5 feet across. That's 10 feet that way. How far do you think that is? Maybe 1.5 feet or so, or 2 feet. I don't know. Does it matter? So, but we're gonna just kind of from that point, we'll put a channel across, and then that's where we're gonna start. You can see the tongue starts right in front of that. Then it goes from there, and it gets cut flush with that and comes up. Okay. And then the tube starts flush with the back of that channel. And there's another one here, back, kind of halfway between those two. Ish. And the spacing for these is, I don't know, about 3 feet. Okay? Kind of in the middle, or kind of the back middle, just past the back midpoint. Again, they can all adjust, but kind of set it up so that they can. I also want you to break it down to subassemblies. What do you think are some good subassemblies for this? At least what I think is the first step. Yeah, maybe the tongue by itself. But we also maybe want to weld everything else and then put the tongue on it. So if we know the angle, though, we should be able to do the tongue by itself, right? Do the tongue here, get those welded, and then maybe this frame here as another one. Depending on how we want to do it. Or maybe do this frame first, and then we turn it upside down, and we kind of lay these out, put them in place so we know that they're lined up flush, and then we weld it. I don't know. But even though they probably have some flex on them anyways, because they're nice long pieces, so you probably adjust it. So either way, it's probably working. And then create the models. Okay. I did also say here that the bolts for right here are 5/8 diameter. One has just the tab coming straight down, or this little U with a bolt and a nut through it. This one in the back, it comes down, and then it has these other pieces that are this little kind of tab here to allow it to swing forward and back. And I would make this a little bit narrower, so I'd probably like to the inside of this. What happened here is they just made these two the same size, and they're like, oh, it's too wide, and they bent it in. That happens a lot when you don't do the drawings ahead of time. So we want to make this where it actually does come down straight, okay? And I'm going to leave the width of it up to you guys, because again, it can adjust, okay? You can see that it's wider than the tongue, and here it looks like it probably needs to be, looks like this width here is the same as that, maybe a little bit more. So if this is 1.5, that's maybe 1 3/4. So maybe we want the inside measurement of this one, of this one to be 2, and this one to be a little bit less, so that way it can kind of line up the outside of this with the outside of that. Okay, does that make sense? Any questions? You guys can come up and draw on the whiteboard, or sit down together and try and figure it out together, or you can work individually. It's kind of up to you. Or you can work in small groups, however you want to do it. Okay? This is kind of something you might get in real world. They bring you one, like, I rolled this together myself, and I want 5 more. And like, oh, okay. Questions? No? All right. I will be here if you have any questions.